Podcast and chill. Matt G, the Ghost Lady, and Len Moleko.
Welcome to it, ladies and gentlemen. Another edition of Podcast and Chill. Hang out with the one and only Sipo Says.
That's right. Just Sipo.
Yeah.
I think the whole Twitter handle thing got out of control.
Yo, how did you come up with that Sipo Says?
It was literally
weird.
My Twitter handle used to be Sipo_1.
Yeah.
Like when I first joined Twitter, like in 2009, I guess. But I don't. No one was tweeting back then.
Yeah,
you just had a Twitter account for some reason.
Yeah.
And you were just going through the shit.
I think people were coming up with names like they did with passwords.
Yeah, well, because we just came off BlackBerry. And we just came off Mixit.
Yeah.
We're still fresh off Mixit names. So everyone went into Twitter originally and came up with their Mixit handles. I remember my Mixit handle used to be Mac01. I said, "Oh, I'm on Mac, baby. That's what I'm here for."
Yeah.
But those Mixit days are crazy. So that's where everyone's weird little Twitter handles I think initially came from.
Yeah.
You know, Mac01. And then you go into Twitter and you're like the Mac or whatever. Start adding number Mac00. So it was just Sipo01, and then at some day I just thought it was like dry.
Yeah.
Like Sipo01 sounded dry. So when I came back to Twitter, maybe like 2011, actually started tweeting, then I decided to just change it to Sipo Says.
And it's been Sipo Says since.
Been Sipo Says since.
And then what about Moochie or Machi for the kids?
It's Moochie for the kids.
Moochie for the kids.
So that's my nickname. Everyone calls me Moochie. Moochie comes from my last name, which is Muchindu.
That sounds
Zambian.
Muchindu
is Zambian. So half Zambian. My mom was Zambian. Dad from Zanzi. So that's where Muchindu comes from. And the nickname came from somewhere, I don't know, 10 years ago sometimes. One of my boys just started to say, "Yo, Moochie," or whatever, and then it became a thing. And then for the kids part, it was always like, "Yo, I do it for the kids." You know, it was, just it was some weird shit I just came up with that. I never overthink this thing. It was not like, let me sit down here and plan.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, "Yo, Moochie for the kids," you know, because I'm like, let's do it for the kids.
It sounds like you're inspired by Kanye West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know. I probably heard it somewhere inside it for the kids. Sounds dope.
Before we talk about Microwave Boys, man, tell me about your childhood, man, because you were brought up in Mafikeng. How was that like, man?
Mafikeng.
Maftown. I heard you got some bad mummies that side. Maftown and Rustenburg.
Man, Maftown, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to big up my women and say the Tswana sisters in Mafikeng are definitely dope looking, you know? But in terms of just how I grew up, Go Mafikeng, dog. I know. I'm
just looking at you. I've never seen you this serious, eh?
I'm thinking. I'm sure everyone is like, yeah. When I was born, I know we're talking shit just before we started recording this, and but yeah, no, man. I mean, I was born and raised in Mafikeng. I don't know what else to say about the fact that I had a normal childhood.
But were you like the funny one in the class?
I've always been the funny guy.
Yeah. The one the girls always want.
You know, no, the funny guys are the guy I always want. Funny enough, but you always, I mean, when you're funny, it means you're friendly, so you're approachable.
Yeah.
So people always want to be around you. So I've always had like a good crop of friends around me. I've always been, even though I wasn't the cool kid, I was always a little bit popular because then the cool kids, I guess, want to hang with you.
Yeah.
If that's a thing when you're in primary or high school. Because I've always been a humorous person. I've always liked telling jokes. I've always been. Just from my family, from the time I was a kid, as far as I can remember, any early memory I have was always wanting to like bring this kid around so he can make everybody laugh.
And would you ever go to Zambia for holidays and
I
stuff?
used to. So growing
used to? What do you mean?
Well, I used to more often.
Oh, okay.
Now it's a little bit more trickier. I'm actually due a trip to Zambia because I haven't been there now I haven't been to Zambia in like 4 years.
Are you famous that side?
No, but my cousin from Zambia was recently in South Africa.
Yeah.
Like a month ago. You know, he lives in Livingston, which is where some of my family lives. But growing up, we used to spend all our time in Livingston. During like December holidays, my aunt would like ship us off, like go see your family out here. Let me have my my holiday. So it's I'm the youngest of three kids. I've got an older brother and older sister. So the three of us would get shipped off every December or every other December.
Yeah.
When we're especially when we're in primary and like early high school. And so this cousin of mine comes to Africa. This is his first time here. I used to go to Zambia all the time. He's always said, I gotta come to Africa because I can't believe I haven't been. So it's his first time in South Africa, and he started watching the show Microwave Boys as well. He started following it, and he's a fan of it.
Yeah.
And he started putting people on back home. You know what I'm saying? So he himself started showing his friends at work, yo, you gotta jump on this. So he's
Do they have Wi-Fi that side?
Hey man, in Africa, you better put some respect in other African countries. Zambia is dope, man.
I'm kidding. We love you all from. Shout out to Zambia, man.
They're watching this. You'd be surprised who watches your stuff. You must do your demographics in check. You saying that these guys in Zambia are watching you. You don't even know who they are.
Yeah.
That's how. We're living on the internet.
So he comes here.
So my homeboy comes here. He tells me now, no, I've been putting niggas on that side. They love your shit, and now you guys are having celebrities. So by proximity, people are like, I know the celebrities. Like everyone in Zambia knows Casper, and you had him on your show. I put them on.
Nasty
They're like, that's
C.
your cousin, Nasty C. So it's like it's making my life a whole lot better in Zambia. That's what my cousin is telling me.
Yeah.
So he was very excited to come down here and like tell me how.
Wasn't he shocked when you got here and realized how big you are? Like you're a big deal.
A little bit. Like we go places and then people come up, like ask for a picture, and he couldn't believe it. Sometimes I can't really believe it because it's like weird, and I'm like, because it's all new or whatever. But wherever we were, like maybe a couple of times at the mall, whatever, just running around the city, just showing him different stuff. It was a couple of times where he saw, okay, my cousin out here has done.
When were
not only bigger, like I've gotten bigger in size because I was a skinny kid.
It's the money, it's the cheddar. Yeah?
When you need to cut those checks right. I need to get body fat. I'm trying to look BE a little bit. When I walk in a room and you can, when you walk, that walk when you put your cell phones on the table. Cell phones. You gotta have 2 cell phones when you're a big money making looking nigga. But
dude,
yeah,
I
man.
feel like without you, there is no Microwave Boys. Honestly speaking, I'm sure you get that a lot. Man.
I mean, I get that a lot, and it's
no disrespect to Larry.
The show has different dynamics. I think people don't understand the dynamics of the show maybe a little bit because the show didn't start off as a comedy show. It's become now like, okay, now these guys are gonna make us laugh and be silly. It was that. But it was about the 3 characters. You know what I'm saying? Larry just as an established guy in the industry who loves presenting shit and all that. It was Paga who had this crazy humor and the unknown guy. Like, what is he going to say? What is he going to do? Nobody fucking knows. And then it was me just being myself.
Is Larry on coke, bro?
No.
He's not.
What? I said very casual. Like, did he jog this morning?
No, I heard rumors, but I've never had a chance to ask.
I think every person who lives in Joburg has a rumor about them that they can never let down.
True.
And you just, I don't know. I guess maybe being a guy who's always in the club, those certain stigmas are gonna get attached to you.
Yeah, true.
And but I don't sleep in the same bed with Larry or do my own life with Larry. His life is his life. So whatever he does in his special spare time is nothing that I would know of. But now.
So you're talking about how it started.
You're asking me if Larry's a drug addict, then the answer is no.
Yeah.
But how the show started, Microwave Boys itself now. Fuck me. First to take you back on the show that were on the platform.
Yeah.
Arnacadium is the channel where Microwave Boys live. Now we treat Arnacadium like if you see the Complex. The channel Complex that people
Viacom.
know, like Viacom or Vice.
Yeah,
you
Vice,
know those channels that have different shows on them. So it's not about the one show.
Like Podcast and Chill could live.
Exactly, Podcast and Chill could live on Acadian, for example, if that was a thing. So if you go on there, you'll see that there's broke niggas. There's of course Microwave Boys. There's Menzi now does Acadian. The guy, his name is Menzi, who started the channel. Okay. He has reviews on tap where they just do movie reviews.
Oh, nice.
Which is now also a podcast, so it's shot in the same vein as well, and not just the one-on-one movie review. So they've got those 2 versions of it. Yeah. And then there's 2 ladies that have now joined in as well who are doing a podcast called Sisterhood of the Traveling Go.
Wow. So it's a whole production now.
So the 2 ladies are, of course, appealing to a different market as well, a little bit. More definitely, more. Women, obviously, black women, and then just speaking on their struggles and just their day to day. So it's on like episode 3 now, so it's interesting to see how that's gonna grow. It started off well so far. The shows, and then if you go a little bit back further on the Arcadium channel, you see that those shows like Guide to, me and Larry and a bunch of our friends did a show called Guide to Groove. That's where it started. So we shot.
Those videos are still up.
And they're still up right now. On just scroll all the way back.
Yeah.
So you can start from the beginning and see all the videos. You see this Guide to Groove. So that's our first, or at least on YouTube, our first dabble with making content, trying to do stuff. Because like I said, Menzi had this channel and he's a creative and he wants to put content out. We came together, like Larry came up with the idea of making the show called Guide to Groove. And basically what we speak about, because at that time now, that was the height of my partying. Of course, Larry's works for the clubs. So we were like...
Did you guys meet at the club, you and Larry?
No, we didn't, but I'll tell you that story.
Okay.
So me and Larry came up with Guide to Groove based on the fact that we were grooving all the time. And we noticed a lot of funny things. And we used, when you come back from a party and you're chilling with your boys, and you're like, yo, man, did you notice last night? Yo, did you see that? Yo, that bouncer? Yo, did you see that fight? So, like, you know what? There used to be some sort of club etiquette.
Yeah.
People need to, like, know how to club 101. Especially now in Joburg clubs, some of these premium Joburg clubs, it's a little bit different than smaller city clubs. You know what I'm saying? Shit is done a lot differently out here. There's a lot more money being spent. So people are taking it, a lot more drugs. And people are taking it a lot more seriously because, like I said, there's a lot of money being exchanged around. So because of that, we came up with Guide to, and we just gave people Guide to Groove, and it was funny. It was interesting.
Is this at the height of Larry's repertoire thing?
This was just after that.
Oh, okay.
So how, and I'll continue that story, but like how me and Larry met, basically that we lived in the same complex.
Okay.
So where Larry currently lives, I moved in there, and he lived upstairs, I lived downstairs. And one day...
in North Riding?
Exactly.
I've been to his house.
Yeah, that exact same complex. I literally lived downstairs to that complex. And what happened one day is that I had so on the ground floor, so I had the backyard. So and in between us was the parking lot. So one day he was parking his car, and I could see that I was like, the guys are reps, and they just done shooting or just about to get done shooting season 2, which is the one that they shot at the mansion most of the time. So he wasn't there half the time, but towards the end of it he came back home.
That season was lit, eh?
So we were the only two people that used to make noise in that entire complex. Larry had all his party friends and the reps doing that stuff. I was downstairs with my boys and we were a bit rowdy. We just moved in from Bram. We're like, north side now, baby. We ain't in Bram no more. They need to know what time. So we came with that rowdiness of that student thing still living inside of you. Okay. And because of that, one day was like, he went and bought a cigarette and he was parking and he said, yo, can I have a cigarette? And then since then we've just been homies.
So now you start doing Groove to Guide.
So we started doing Guide to Groove
a
little bit because now he's done with the reps. I think that the show airs, the season finishes. So again, of course, he's still vibing to make content. So this is where we turn to. Menzi also used to be part of the repertoires. He actually used to be a dancer as well. And the repertoires, a lot of people don't know, it wasn't just those guys on TV.
At
one point there was like 100 of them.
There's a lot.
Or some shit like that. There was just so anyone who was in their crew or friendship.
Even like K Naomi was a dancer.
K Naomi, so many people that are now coming. But pretty ugly, but buntle. Of course, them as dancers. I don't know if she was part of the reps, but I mean, as a dancer, all people that at some point were affiliated. Who do you call this?
Because it was all movement.
Who's the really buff guy now? .com.
.com
used to be like dancer.
Capital
like,
Speed.
Larry's actually sitting on some proper footage of some of these famous guys when they were still battling each other. And you remember Masters of Rhythm used to be the thing. .com used to be like Larry's arch rival. They had the other crew or whatever, and a lot of the girls. There's a lady called Karen.
During that time, when you met a girl, it's either the reps or Josie had smashed. No matter where you go,
I could say that there's some ladies that probably couldn't make eye contact today. With some of those niggas from there, because but it was a real thing. Like if you were in Joburg, and remember I just moved here, you know what I'm saying? So when I moved to Joburg, I used to spend all my time here in Bram.
Yeah,
I lived there, but for all those gentrification, when it was still dangerous out these streets, was when I used to live. So I used to blow my hair. When we moved to the north,
shit got real.
Then you get introduced to that life a little bit. You start meeting little celebrities and hanging with, like I said, having started being with friends with Larry, you start to see the life and everything. And back then, you couldn't place what it was, but girls completely and utterly would just head over heels in love with all those niggas.
Yeah, all of them.
And today they can't do. A lot of them wouldn't admit it.
Yeah,
especially a lot of them that are established.
Yeah,
but I promise you,
I know
your favorite it girl.
Yeah.
100%. She has a story.
I was around, dude. Like I'm saying, dude, every girl that you macked on, either the reps have been there, or one of the guys from Josie.
It was probably better to be friends with somebody in those circles, in order for anyone to take you seriously back then. You know what I'm saying? Do anything, because then you're like an outsider.
Yeah.
Out here, because the North is very like cliquey.
When you start
place.
meeting these celebrities, do you get starstruck? Like when you just moved up to the North?
No.
No one got you starstruck, bruh?
Can I tell you my two favorite celebrities that I get? One of them was going to be starstruck. My favorite person, actually, R.I.P. is the late WHP. As a kid from Mafikeng, WHP was a god to us.
Legend.
He's a fucking god to us.
Yeah.
Anybody who's from Mafikeng was like off the backbone of Jabba's hard work and sweat. There's a guy who was spitting in Setswana to leave Mafikeng and to try and make it out in these Joburg streets and to get like booed. People don't know how much WHP used to go to in terms of getting booed. That guy used to be like, "We don't know what you're saying. Get off the stage, boo." This guy's talking.
That was a real thing. I heard stories about that.
This is Joburg. Hey, this is Durban. Are you kidding us? This is East London. We don't know what you're saying. Cape Town. All those places he went to break those barriers and prepare
and
for
pave
your
the way.
Caspers and your Kulichanas to be able to go around and for them to land there and people be like, "Yeah, Kulichana is speaking in Setswana. We don't hear what you're saying." Like he used to get at the beginning. He had to break down all the. He came out here, gained everybody's respect in this city, and made it okay for little kids from Mafikeng to come in here and be taken seriously. And of course, the Mzoko movement just exploded based on that. So WHP, like one of my favorite people ever. My second favorite person is David Cow.
Oh, he's funny, dude. David.
A lot of people don't understand that, but like. I love David Cow so much.
Me too, bro. That guy's
he's like my favorite. So I met him once and I was starstruck and I didn't say anything. way back at some point, and it was probably through because at that time I was meeting all these people because I was in the club all the time with like Larry.
Yeah.
So they knew him. They'd come obviously to greet him.
Yeah.
And there's this guy hanging out with him, and then some people greeted, some people didn't. Those small little things. But David Cow is like my favorite. Other than that, no, I've never really met anybody personally and say I was like, oh.
When I met DJ Fresh, I was like, yo. And he's got the physique. Like
he's a big dog.
He's a big dog.
He's earned that name.
I was starstruck. I was like, wow, there's DJ Fresh. Can you believe it?
No, man. But it was always interesting.
Now I'm like, yo, what up, Fresh? Yo, what up?
Nice, like, yeah, what's up? Yo, pass me the bottle, nigga. Pass me the bottle, nigga. But a lot of people had to. It's weird, this celebrity thing in Joburg, because a lot of people used to chill with in those early days when nobody knew who I was at all.
Yeah,
and I was literally just a friend of a
famous
guy. What
were you doing before Microwave Boys, dude?
So by profession, I'm a copywriter.
Oh.
So I was in advertising.
Oh, you're in advertising.
So I started off in advertising.
So you're creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Born creative and have been all my life.
Yeah.
So always writing has always been like something that I've always loved to do. So creative writing, you can imagine in school, obviously, like English was like my favorite subject and shit like that.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. But so I came to Joburg and I went to Vega to study advertising, and I dropped out because Vega.
Every good story starts with I dropped out.
You gotta drop out a little bit just for just to add a little bit,
You're like in the hood if you haven't been shot. You're in a G.
Man, like I was supposed to go to varsity and then I just like proper and like go do some accounting and I just like sidestep that shit and then made my way to Joburg from Pretoria. I was like, Pretoria sucks. I came over to Joburg by mistake. I came for a weekend because all my friends stayed here.
Yeah.
So I came for a weekend and my brother stayed out here. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna come see you this weekend because all my best friends from Mafikeng went to UJ and shit. So I'm like, I'm gonna come to Oakland Park. All these places that I've been hearing about. This is 2007.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna have a good time. My boys are, because none of them were like, we're not coming to Pretoria to come see you. I hope you know that. You're just gonna have to come here. I came here for a weekend and I never left.
Wow. Till this day.
So I'm not going back to Pretoria. Fuck that. That place sucks. I'm not going back. But I love Pretoria. It doesn't suck.
Yeah.
But for me, like I immediately identified with Joburg the minute I got here. Even though in my mind I'm living Mafikeng as a small town kid, thinking, I don't know if I'll fit into Joburg. It's a big city, scary situation. Let me rather go to Pretoria there because people even speak Tswana Ghana as well, I'll be able to like gel in a little bit better. So that's what my mind was telling me. But the reality of it was that
because it's intimidating, Joburg, until you find your feet.
Absolutely, it is. So
and it can swallow you as well.
Oh yeah. So and many people have been swallowed, and then some have come back to fight the good fight.
Yeah.
But like, so I went to Vega, dropped out, and then I had to get a job. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, although it was like super expensive to be in Vega, which was part of the problem, it was like,
Are you from a rich family, bro?
No, I'm not from a rich family. Just like regular family. Regular black.
That's what rich people say. Rich gang.
Oh, please, man. So, when I dropped out, luckily I was very good because they send you out on internships sometimes, and you get to do like, they encourage you during school holidays. You must go see this advertising agency. Will take you for the 2 weeks that you're on break and you work for free or whatever. So during one of those stints, I went to an ad agency. And I actually worked on a campaign and actually got printed, and I was actually credited as a copywriter on it as I was in my second year.
Wow!
So because of that, when I decided not to go back to school, they immediately hired me. You know what I'm saying? But they hired me on a short-term contract. So they're like, come through, but then they never gave me a permanent contract. So I eventually shunned them and actually went to work for an advertising agency that was down the road from them. So after they were like giving me problems, and they're like, okay, they're trying to like exploit this young student. Like, I'm sure we can feed off his creativity for quite a long time before we actually have to give him real money.
Yeah.
But I like had bills and shit. I had like rent to pay. So I went to another ad agency, and I knew this guy through my sister. My sister was like, my friend's husband owns an small low boutique agency, but maybe you can go work for him. You know what I'm saying? So one day I said, like, come see me during your lunch break, and I went down there. I was like, oh, this is dope. I'm like, I'll stay, but here are my bills. So I wrote them down. I was like, this is how much transport cost me. This is how much food cost me. This is how much rent cost me. Maybe a little some
extra.
So I'm like, these are my actual expenses.
Yeah.
So if you can meet this, at least
I'm yours.
I'll just come here. And he's like, and he made a joke. Okay, cool. And thought he was joking. Monday I was there. Wow. I never left. So I stayed.
And you never leave. Where do you?
I come and I sit down. So I did that shit with them I worked for that company for 3 years.
Wow, dude.
In advertising. And then eventually I left the company. And this is where I started doing content. I left the company because it was very small. I wasn't really moving anywhere. There was nowhere for me to go.
No challenge.
You know what I'm saying? And working in a small company, we became like family. So it became less about work and more about our personal relationships and how close we all were to each other. So it became like the company struggle felt like your struggle. You know what I mean? And I started to sit back and be like, I actually don't have shares in this company. I don't have to do this.
I hate those vibes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's family. It's like, so when things are bad, it's like when things are bad in the household, and your mom is telling you, or they're like, for the next few months, we have to buckle up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or shit like that. So it felt like that. After a while, like, things are tough right now, family.
Yeah.
So things may not happen on time. And it's like, and I left for 2 reasons. In my mind, I was like, I have to go because it's going to ruin this very great friendship that we've actually formed.
Yeah, and you don't want to do that.
And it's going to be about money and like weird shit like that. So I was like, I started having an exit plan. I got to leave this ad agency as soon as possible. So I put some feelers out there, but I wasn't really getting anything back at the time. South African Breweries was having a competition at that time. They said, you know what? We're looking for the job title is Chief Relaxation Officer.
What the fuck is that?
Right? Castle Milkstart. Chief Relaxation Officer. This is 2011.
What is that title?
You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to break it down for you. So my boy sends me this email.
Yeah.
He's like, Doug, this job would be perfect for you.
Yeah.
They're going to pay you this amount of money. More money than I've ever seen in my life. I'm looking at those numbers. I'm like, what? They're going to first pay you this money. And then you're going to get to travel. You're going to get to take competition winners that Castle Milkstart gets, and you get to be their travel guide.
Shit, sign me up, dog.
On behalf of Castle Milkstart. And it's not even a desk job.
Yeah.
You never have to come into the office.
What?
So it's like over a 6-month period, you're going to just travel, take competition winners out, blah, blah, blah. So that's the gist of I'm like, this is a joke. No, it's like it's an actual thing, and here it is. So I click on it, and then you go into like on the Facebook page of Castle Milkstart, it's a real thing. And he told me this 2 days before the competition closed. And what you had to do is make a video, 1 minute video, tell people, this is why I want to be, this is why I think I'm the perfect person to be the Chief Relaxation Officer. Whatever, my name is Sipo, and this is why, blah, blah, blah. So I made a little clip, and I actually edited it like a movie. So it was like a one little movie that I shot and edit clips from other movies for it to make sense. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll find it. I'll give you MacG the link to put in the description.
Fuck, that'd be dope, man.
Because I think it lives out there somewhere. Maybe even on the Cousin Milkstad Facebook page. So we'll find it. So I upload this clip the day before the competition ends. Now I shoot it. I put it up there, and there was like a 1 month period where they'd be voting. So I've now become a content creator. I've shot my own video. I've edited it. I've put it up on Facebook. And people are voting for this video. So the 1 month period goes by, and they say anyone who makes it in the top 20 in the country, we're gonna interview them for this position. So first of all, your video must get enough votes to be in the top 20, and then from there we'll pick our favorite 5 and interview them for this position. I made it into the top 20. I had the most watched video. The second most watched video.
Shit,
the most watched video was the shit
nigga.
video, actually. So that was the vetting process. Like, we can't just pick guy who wins the most because he might be a shit guy. So luckily the guys in the top 20, they put together a good crop of 5 people, and then they called us in for an interview. And out of like 3,000 entries, I won that job.
Wow, dude.
So that changed my life. So immediately at this job that I wanted to leave, you know, I don't know, God works in mysterious ways sometimes. In that part where you're like, I gotta leave, but like, I can't find a way out of this job, you know what I'm saying? But luckily everyone at that company supported me. So they're like, how are you doing? And they would post for me, and they're like, oh, everyone vote for Sipho. So it was like a vibe. Like I said, we were a family at that time.
And this is the birth of you creating content.
That was the birth of me creating content. And one day I got a phone call as I'm sitting at my computer, just going, gotta leave this job. I want to leave this job. And the phone rang, and they said, yo, and it was guys from SAB. And the first thing they said to me, like, yo, do you have a suitcase? I started screaming. I said, Ma, like a little bitch. I was losing my mind. Imagine I'm screaming at my old job. like this nigga looks too excited to be. He's too excited to want to leave this company. But that was my first intro into. So I did that, and then so I moved from copywriter and I got into travel. So for the next 4 years after that, all I did was travel.
Wow, dude. That sounds like
I got
the ultimate job, dude.
So after 6 months, the company that so I worked for SAB for 6 months only, but then the company that does SAB's travel hired me off the back of I've been working with them for 6 months. So I said, as soon as you're done here, please come join us.
And then you stayed.
And I stayed because the client was SAB, so like I can do this as a client and still get to travel, and still get paid to do it. You know what I'm saying? So that became my job, man. And got to show me the world.
That's crazy.
I got to travel, and
shit, man. That was the time, dude.
That was the
fucking hell.
Jeez, have we been
this time, this time is flying. Listen, let's get to the ladies, right? As you know, you're the funniest one in the Microwave Boys, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of ladies
I'm not
love
single.
You. A lot of people were mad because you got a girlfriend now.
Yeah.
A lot of ladies, should I say?
A lot of ladies. It was such a hilarious thing because it's almost a year now with my girl. And
in this day and age, hey, round of applause, my G.
It's almost a year now with my girl, and me and my when we first started dating.
How did you meet her?
We actually met on Instagram.
Hey, it goes down to the DMs.
Yeah, we actually met, we met on Instagram, if I can call it that. So
are you one of those couples that posted when you said it started in the DMs?
I know, once we get to a year, I'll be like, this all started in the DMs, baby. You don't even know. And I'm not even that dude, but like, she actually like sent me a DM because she had watched the show. She literally like, oh, I just got onto your show. And then she put it on her stories, I think, and I started following her on Instagram. So I mean, she's a beautiful girl. So I started following her, but I'd never DM'd her. You know what I'm saying? I never DM'd her first until I saw one day I caught her watching Microwave Boys. So she posted on her Instagram stories. So she was like laughing at something and she was like, whatever. And then that was on the back of something she had said on Twitter because she started following me there as well. So I had these two things to go on. So I laughed back at whatever she was laughing at. You know, you send message on Instagram. So she was laughing, and I think I sent like a laugh face, like a heart emoji. Like, I want you to know what this is about. I'm laughing, but also, you know, I felt like I was stating my game. She hates that story because she's like, you did not say anything. I had to make this shit happen. So then she sent me a message, just a simple message saying, you know, let me buy you a drink, pretty much, and that was it.
Wow, she made on you, bruh.
She made the first real move. She said, let me buy you a drink. And I was like, drink?
Dude, I'm still waiting for that to happen. Nothing goes down in my DMs, dog. None of that shit happens.
But then of course now, Microwave Boys at that time was a year old. So we built up a fan base.
Maybe I should wait until the podcast is a year old.
So we build up a fan base, and of course you get some attention from ladies, and they tweet you, and they comment on so it's very clear to see. It's not like sort of secrets.
Are they like soccer stars have groupies, DJs have groupies? Are they YouTube groupies?
I don't know if I want to call them groupies but they're
what do you
YouTube
call them, subscribers?
You just call them subscribers. I think that's more respectful. We'll call them subscribers. But like we did a YouTube tour, for example. We did a YouTube tour, and then all those people that are watching your show, they're real people.
Yeah.
At some point, you're gonna start meeting them. You know what I'm saying? If it's like, how shocked should you be at some point if it's 50,000 people watch your shit, then you go out to Pick and Pay, and then the guy's like, "Hey, I watched your show." Yeah. It's like,
so you can get laid by having a YouTube channel.
You know what I'm saying? I guess you could get laid by having a YouTube channel.
What a
you
world
get
we
into
live
a
in.
very loving relationship. That's all. I guess it's to each his own. But it was funny because, like I said,
I know why you made it and then you stayed like you always do.
Yeah, I stay, baby. I don't mess around. When I see a good thing, I don't have time for games. So again, I stayed, and I continue to stay. But what happened is, and I actually want to tell you something about that.
Yeah. So you telling me about your chick? Yeah.
So anyway, I was saying, so when we started dating, of course, like I said, the show has built up a fan base, and so the ladies comment on your stuff. Obviously, she can see those. The attention, if I can say that, yeah. But what became funny was, so when me and her started dating, of course, we kept it a little bit low key, so, just kept it. And I started calling her because her favorite flower is sunflowers, So I started calling her. I'd be like, I'd never say her name because people wouldn't know who she is. I just used to say, I'm chilling with my sunflower, on a date with my sunflower,
I like that.
And then I started posting pictures, but like I'd post half pictures. Yeah. So like maybe we'd go to like breakfast or whatever, and I'd post like half a face. We both started enjoying it a little bit, because people would be like, "Oh my god, this is dating. Yeah. Who is this mystery woman?" And my girl is not out there, so she's not like anybody would really know unless you know her personally. You wouldn't pick up. I knew that most of the people, or I guess in popular Twitter circles, wouldn't be able to know exactly who she is. So it was fun for a while, and then of course when we record the show, people would be like, "Oh, he's in a relationship now." Yeah. Who is this girl she's dating? So people started commenting a lot about who is this mystery girl. And it's like, there was one girl who had a crush on me on Twitter, and then she was famous for having a crush on me on Twitter. Yeah. So one time I posted a picture, and then she commented on that picture. But like, it was all fun for me and my girl, because we'd see all these comments and like laugh about them together. And so for a long time, I didn't like show her face.
But my thing is,
or like tag her or anything, because she's, like I said, she's a more reserved person. Who's not like all up in any in the popular spotlight or anything like that, and she kind of prefers it like that. So it was.
How old are you now? How old are you now?
I'm 31 years old.
Oh shit, makes sense. Makes sense. Because I was about to say, if you got so much access to so much pussy, why would you want to tie yourself down?
Nah, man. It's I guess it's a choice each person has to make with what you want, Yeah. So I'm not about that. I'm definitely about my lady, and that's
and you're enjoying it. You're enjoying it, ne?
Absolutely, man. I'm having the time of my life. She's the best girl I've ever met.
Same here, bro. Like, fuck, man. You know when you meet that person that just, I don't know, am I getting too serious now?
Yeah, we just became Khutman conversations now all of a sudden.
But yeah, you broke a lot of hearts, and like you said,
the game is the game, man. Sometimes you gotta break a few hearts, I guess.
Do you ever get tempted to cheat on her?
Nah, not tempted. There's no temptation for cheating. It's a choice.
Yeah,
it's not a real tempt. If you're a person that wants to do that, no, temptation exists everywhere. Yeah, both for yourself and your girl.
Oh yeah, you wanted to tell me about
but I'm just saying in general it exists for both yourself and your girl. So if if you think you're getting tempted, you must understand that your girl also, there's people out there, she's not tempted herself, but there's people out there who try to tempt her. If you know that you're dating a beautiful woman, then you must know that
every single day
because niggas always approach women. Doesn't matter, as soon as you get out the room, some niggas always trying to holler at your girl or saying, hey, what's up, whatever. But you build yourself a secure relationship where you're with somebody who I wouldn't do that to you, you wouldn't do that to me. I don't have time for that bullshit. But like I said,
it comes with age and growth.
Also, anything you do in the dark will come to the light. So whatever it is that you think you're sneaking around doing, if that's the game plan, at some point it's probably gonna catch up with you.
It will eventually.
Yeah. But I was saying that I wanted to say something, you know.
Yeah.
And this is on the back of, and I'm not trying to put my girl on the spotlight.
Yeah.
But you know, and I picked it up when I first started listening to your podcast, that when you interview ladies, that you very, very, I guess it gets very sexual sometimes. Like you like to ask about, it's like, I mean, I guess I've seen you ask a couple of the dudes as well about sexual, but like maybe you just ask me now. But with the ladies, it gets a little bit heated. It gets a little bit heated, and I can see some of them on their faces, but I could tell you, and some of their faces that maybe they don't really want to speak about it, but the conversation was going well, so they just decided, okay, I'll just answer this question because I feel like you're a dope interviewer. So people open up to you a little bit more and are comfortable saying those things. Yeah. But to the listeners, and I'll tell you why. Yeah. So before I get to that, I'll tell you my own personal story. Yeah. On our show, we used to have a segment called at the end of each episode, Hottie of the Week. So at the end of every Microwave Boys episode, we started having Hottie of the Week, and then at the it's that simple. We used to pick any hot girl from Instagram. Yeah, like, yo, have you seen Ntabiseng? Have you seen Bales? Have you seen? Or did you see? Oh, somebody sent me this. Or somebody? Oh, have you seen? You know, because you know, Instagram is a pool of a lot of very beautiful women.
It's a thirst trap.
It's a thirst trap. So we'd never run out of content in that regard. And it was innocent from our side of how it started. You know what I'm saying? It was innocent from our side. We're just like, oh yeah, we're on Instagram and there's a lot of beautiful women and now we're going to talk about them and shut them out. And we'll get the energy we're getting from the ladies at that time wasn't negative. Yeah. So we'd shout the girls out and be like, yo, whatever. Again, I'd say, Ntabiseng, yo, we think, Ntabiseng, oh, you're so pretty. Oh, look at this picture of her. There. Oh, look at her in Cape Town in a bikini, you know, speaking about it. And then Ntabiseng would shout us back, oh, you guys made me hot of the week. Yeah. Thank you so much. It was dope. And then some girls would send us the DMs and be like, can you make me hottie of the week? You know, so we started getting, they were like, it's weird if you ask, you know. Yeah. We wouldn't say that to them, but it's like, can you make me hottie of the week? It's like asking to be Miss Universe, you know, like Miss Universe. I feel like you should just pick me and don't have the whole competition. But anyway, once the show started growing and started having a very high following from women, you know what I'm saying, they started to dislike that segment because sometimes some of the conversations would be like, you know, you start to pick a woman apart now at some point. Oh, look at her breasts, or look at her ass, and then you can imagine how that starts to get uncomfortable for the women in your show. You know what I'm saying? And none of them would tell us, when you guys get that segment, we turn off.
Oh, I see.
We don't watch that segment because it started getting a little problematic. And then it became even more about that. Then it became about, why is it mostly just light-skinned girls? Why is it mostly just slender girls? Don't you gonna shut up the bigger girls or the dark-skinned girls? Do you only like one type? You know, you guys seems like you're pushing colorism. And so it's like, whoa. So the conversation became about that, and those conversations aren't to be like discarded easily because they are important. You know what I'm saying? Because colorism is a real thing, and light-skinned girls are given preference over dark-skinned girls. Well, look, and bigger women, like in terms of mainstream media. So as our popularity of our show grew, so did the responsibility. There has to be some responsibility. True. And then it became like, okay, we can't just sit here and pick women apart. To answer your question,
like most of these ladies that I interview, I'm literally like friends with them, you know? So it's very lighthearted. So they know, like, I'm kidding. It's nothing too serious.
And I know that, and I picked it up.
Yeah, I think when you're watching, then you don't know the kind of relationship that we have. You see, like, I recently interviewed Dineo Ranaka, you know, and we were talking about sex because I feel comfortable enough to ask her that because we have that kind of relationship. And it's very lighthearted. But if we don't have, like, I will not sit with Anele, for example, and ask her if she does anal. You know what I mean? That's disrespectful because we're friends, we're cool, but we're not that tight, you know? So it's lighthearted, you know.
No, and I'm saying I could tell because the people that you have there are comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? That they're your friends. But I was saying you run the responsibility a little later because people that are watching are not your friends. And they don't understand that. True. So the more conscious you are about it,
hey, YouTube King, about it more. YouTube King. School me, dog.
The more conscious about it, the more you start to think, when the girls that are supporters of this show watch it, how are they gonna feel? You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, you have to be comfortable with who you are.
Exactly.
If you go to sleep at night and you're cool with anything, and there's nothing that you feel like I need to change, and you as a person, even if someone calls me a shit guy, and I say I'm comfortable and I go to sleep, like, okay, you can go to sleep, but I still think you're a shit guy. I'll be like, that's okay.
Would you consider being a comedian?
I am a comedian.
Oh, you are.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've been working on some stuff. It's been. I mean, right now I can't.
So you do stand up, right?
I can't hide it, and I can't run away from it.
Yeah.
I've gone to the stage where I have to start doing some shows. I have to start doing some stand up stuff. So I'm saying it right now. You have it on video.
Yeah.
This is probably the first place I've ever said it out loud.
Wow.
That I'm definitely. You watch out, it's coming.
Nice, dude. Fuck, I want to be there, bro. Can I be at your first show, man?
You pull up, dog. Pull up.
Whether you take or not, I'll be with you, my dog.
If it sucks, we'll just have some tequila, you know? It's dead. But otherwise, nah, man. That's where I'm at personally. Just in writing, of course. I'm a writer, so I write for a few things, like AKA's roast. I was a writer on that.
Were you?
Yeah.
How does that roast thing work? So those jokes are not theirs.
No.
Fuck.
We wrote their jokes for them. But that's how every roast works. Even the ones in America, or whatever.
Which joke did you write?
All the funny ones. Every single one that you thought was hilarious was written by me.
Because I enjoyed Pearl. Pearl said it was funny. She was funny. No one wrote for Papa Penny.
No, Papa Penny, and I can. Papa Penny he had to be given the freedom. Without saying too much, had to be given the freedom to kind of freestyle.
Oh, okay.
Because he's not. Let me write it for me. Let me regurgitate it type guy. He's definitely not that type character. Just if you've seen his character, his show, even if you see him on that roast, you couldn't write that for him. So, but yeah, that was done. There's a few other things that I'm working on that are in the pipeline for television that I'm currently writing. So it's a new space for me, but it's exciting, and it's off the backbone of this stupid ass show that we put out on YouTube.
Oh my
you
God.
know, that finally gave
birth to
us
so
a
many
voice.
other things. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because we fought for a while, man. There's shows on TV right now that we pitched,
where
we conceptualized,
that always happens, dog.
and
it's part of the game.
They said, "No, it's not.
Yeah.
We don't want this show." And then they just
That's when you know they won it.
yeah, no, they want it. But those same people come to you a little bit later and they're like, "Can we work?" I'd be like, 7 million rand. Oh, go fuck yourself. You know, people like that. It's like I'll never write anybody off, but like you remember the people that.
Which shows are you talking about that on TV that you started?
Nah, I'm not gonna. I can't give the name, but there's a show currently running on television that
SABC,
pitched.
Vuzu,
It's on DSTV.
DSTV, Mzansi.
You know that used to
Is it a game show?
I can't say.
Is it Vuzu?
I can't say. I can't. You know,
All right, cool. Listen,
the game is the game, but like I said, slowly but surely we're coming.
yeah.
For
Listen,
everything.
we're gonna play a game called Marry Kill Fuck.
Marry, kill, fuck.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get my girlfriend upset.
This is where your girlfriend tunes out.
Now, baby, just switch this off at this part. It's part of the game, baby.
Bonang, DJ Zintle, or Pearl Tusi? Who'd you marry, kill, fuck?
I'm gonna kill Pearl.
Pearl!
Yeah, I'm going to. Whatever. I'm going to marry Bonang and then
Marry Bonang.
because I wanted to talk like that for me for the rest of our lives. I want to wake up every morning and hear her say, "Do me lie." Good morning, baby.
That's a good one.
I'm cool with that.
And then you fuck Zintle.
Yeah.
But Zintle looks like wifey material, man.
Maybe it's the ones that look like wifey material that end up surprising you. Sometimes we put stamps and be like, "Oh, she's so shy."
Yeah.
You never know.
Okay, cool. Boiti Rouge Buntle Mudisi. What's his name? Mudisi Sela. Yeah.
I'm gonna kill Rouge.
You gonna kill Rouge, man.
I'm gonna say what's up to Boiti, and then I'm gonna marry Buntle.
You're married,
So,
Buntle.
hey, pretty, you know, Buntle. They're my people. I have to say that. I'll marry your girl too.
Yeah. Have you ever had Boiti on your show?
We did.
Oh, how was that?
We did. It was didn't go as planned. It didn't go as planned. If you watch the Boiti episode, if you've seen our show, of course you know. Again, we talk shit and everything.
Yeah.
Boiti's episode came after one of our best episodes, which was the Ricky Rick episode. So we had Ricky Rick, and Ricky was just the best guest we've ever had.
Yeah.
He just gelled in. It was just funny. He was natural. It was really, really dope. All the energies were dope.
Yeah.
Boiti had just watched that episode. She was just about to drop her single that Friday. So I think she came in with the, I better be as funny as Ricky. Like she was feeling pressure herself.
She was under pressure.
And then there was one topic, if you watch the episode, there was one topic on there that she felt was like a shit topic.
Yeah.
And she said it right on the show. She's like, guys, this is a shit topic. Why did you prepare such a shit topic for me when you could have, Ricky had all the dope funny stuff.
Yeah.
So she became a little bit weird about that moment.
See, now you're gonna turn off.
And we just left it there,
Yeah.
We couldn't hide it. So she seemed a little bit uptight, but she's not an uptight person. Like the people that were commenting in the video, like Boiti's uptight, she's ruining the vibe of the show.
Boiti's cool, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying because of that little small interaction, she made herself look like she was an uptight person.
And she's a cool chick.
And she's not. And we had a good time recording. She's fun. Yeah. But I just think she was overthinking that whole week. Yeah. Second single about to drop. This is gonna come out with it. Will it be funny? People are going to overjudge me because I think she does have that low persona of not being a fun person for some reason. In terms of on social media, people that look at her and the way that they speak about her. So she's obviously like fighting against that image, and that episode didn't particularly help. So she didn't like that episode.
What do you think of her music?
I like the first single with Nasty C. Genuinely, I genuinely like it. 100%. I bump it. Can you deny that song? Like you bump it in the club, you're gonna bump it. So I don't know if you can listen to it in your own personal time. Yeah. But in general, it just wasn't a bad song. I was ready to trash. I was like, boy, you're gonna drop a trash song. Yeah. I was waiting for because I couldn't imagine Boyti would have dropped because it was a hit song at the end of the day. And Nasty was on it, and he had a dope ass verse, like verse of the year. Yeah, no, I think he won verse of the year for that verse, Nasty C.
All right, here's the last one. Mihlali, Kanyam Kangisi, and Tanda Tabudi.
Oi. Boom, 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 boom.
It's gonna be tricky. What do I feel like you smashed Mihlali?
I'm gonna. Who's the other lady again? Tanda Tabudi.
Tanda Tabudi and Mihlali.
Okay, I'll say what's up to Tabudi and then I'll marry Mihlali.
You're gonna marry Mihlali? What do I feel like you got a history with Mihlali?
Zero history with Mihlali. The first time I met Mihlali was the day she was on our show. We interviewed her when we had our radio show earlier on that same morning. So we had 2 interviews with her that day. We'd been talking. No, wait. That was like the second time I met her. The first time was in passing at some event. But anyway, that was the first real time that we'd now had an actual conversation.
Speaking about radio, what happened with Touch HD and YFM?
YFM, you remember Stapora?
Yeah.
Yeah, Stapora was a dude, man, and he felt our vibe a lot. And he was like, and this is now in the middle of 2017.
Okay.
We're going back and forth. We're talking. We're cool with dude. And he was like, I like you guys' vibe, your show, everything. And I'm trying to figure out how we can package that for radio. How can we package this for radio? Because it's really dope. And I don't know. You guys tell me. So based on that, we're like, let's try something. Because we're always keen. Let's try something. Let's have a slot. Obviously, we're fighting. Get us on. And it's like, well, maybe let's try something small at first. So Intro had his show on Saturdays. He did 3 to 6.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm trying to remember. But yeah, I think it was that.
Yeah.
Intro had his show on Saturdays where he pushed 3 to 6. And we were cool with Intro. So it's like, how about you guys become a feature on Intro's show every Saturday? Yeah. You guys can come in the last 2 hours or something like that. I think the show was 3 hours. So you guys will come in the first 2 hours, because I think they played and mixed the last hour or something like that. So come through for the 2 hours of the show, and then you guys will just do what you do on your show and try and plug it into radio. And let's make it interactive. Let's see how it goes. So we started off and it was going well. Everything was dope, and it started in. Remember, this is not when radio does the changing of the guards, which usually happens in April. This is now we're talking mid-year, towards the end of the year. We're dealing with a situation that's happening October, or something. So it's like September we jump on, we continue in October and November. So those 3 months we're pushing, and then Stapora left and went to join Viacom. When he left, the new guy who came in was like, I don't know what's going on here. But it stops today.
It stops.
You know, because he's thinking in his mind, these guys came through in the middle. Who are these guys that come in the middle of the year to jump on some other nigga's show? And whatever. But he didn't understand the dynamics and the relationships.
Yeah. And the show was doing well.
The show was doing well. We're getting all the interactions, but he didn't. He was like, this seems, because I guess now there's 4 people in the studio. There's 3 of us. There's intro already, and then there was what's the dude's name who used to do. There's the girl who does the news, of course.
Yeah, it's a mess.
So in the end, it became like he just didn't like that whole vibe.
Yeah.
He's a traditional radio guy, so he's just like, you know what? Nah, I think we need to
and then Touch
stop
HD?
this right now and reevaluate. So Touch HD, I mean, some of the stuff has been made public already in terms of how he left. But we went into Touch HD with all the right intentions on the platform, and we had a good relationship. This is my personal second stint with Touch HD. I used to host the Friday night show with Slick.
Oh, nice.
You know, when Slick got a show on Touch HD, he
Put
said,
you
"Yo,
on,
let's do Friday nights together. And let's have a hip hop show."
Yeah.
It was dope. We used to interview dope people. We used to even take video of the shits. So Changing of the Gods came again.
Hey, they keep changing the guard.
I left Touch HD. I left Touch Central, which then became when they rebranded, became Touch HD. And then so everybody was first Touch Central got purged, second cycle got purged again, new people came in, and then last year when they did the purge again for like the 3rd successive year, we got introduced and they were like, would you guys want to host a breakfast show? So we were excited. Breakfast is a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, Breakfast is Drive Time, 2 biggest shows on any radio station, and we're thinking, nobody would expect us to be hosting a breakfast show, especially our own breakfast show. Not like a feature. No, it was. We called it the Breakfast
There's no
Wave.
intro.
There's no intro. There's nobody. It's hosted by the Breakfast Wave with the Microwave Boys, and of course, shout out to our girl Yaya, who's also just absolutely amazing. So we it started off all dope in the beginning, and then as it went on, just without getting into detail. I don't sound like a fucking what do you call this? Like this is what do you call, like I'm paparazzi or like this is I'm not a Shwashu guy. I'm not a TMZ dude or anything like that. All I can say is that just certain things that were promised just never came to life, and in the end we just parted ways. And we parted ways amicably. You know, just like, okay, it's not working. It's not working for you too. It's not working for us as well.
But I noticed when you're at Touch HD, you weren't recording Microwave Boys. You guys were off.
There was a time when we took a break last year, and it was a long break. How many months did we take off? Man, maybe the whole entire winter. We might have taken 2 to 3 months off.
Shit, that's a lot in YouTube time.
It was a lot in YouTube time, man. Our fans were they died inside a little bit.
Yeah.
And it started off with us. We had other shit that we were trying to do. And then schedules became a little bit trickier. And then, because there's 3 of us, but all 3 of us also work in our own personal capacity. Shout out to my boy, of course, Larry. As you know, he's heading up Taboo. He just got a promotion. He's heading out all the Taboo.
Oh, nice. About damn time, man.
All the Taboo properties
nice.
in Durban as well as in Cape Town. He's
big shout out to him, man.
You know,
that's a big deal.
Larry's been the club guy for the longest time.
That's what I'm saying.
His growth in that market is always dope.
It's overdue, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's still with the Taboo group, still moving for
Spaga is Flying Fish.
Spaga, as you know, is one of the brand ambassadors for the new Flying Fish campaign. So shout out to him as well. And us as Microwave Boys as well, we're still pushing with Flying Fish on this. Man, I'm gonna say that much. I may have said a little too much. You know, I didn't say anything, but like, those are, I can just shout out to Flying Fish in general. As you know,
no, I got you. I got you.
You know, there are people, but like in individual capacity, I'm telling you about my writing that I'm doing for TVs in my own personal capacity, and other business that I'm involved in, trying to get back into right now. So we all have responsibilities outside of Microwave Boys. We love the show, but most importantly, we want to continue making content, so it's never going to die. And we've got other stuff on the way, so don't just see Microwave Boys. We've got other shows on RNKDM coming out that will feature either 3 of us. Not all 3 of us will be in everything going forward, except Microwave Boys, but either one of us might. 3 new shows could be coming from all 3 of us. You know, just stay tuned to that. But that's stuff that we're trying to push out, man.
Sipo, thank you so much, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, dude, we can
Thanks for having me. This is we could talk forever. I don't know how much time time goes every time you start saying one sentence and then
You know what I mean?
you realize 3
Yeah.
hours or 2 hours have gone
So
by. But I
thank you.
appreciate-
I'm gonna
First
stop-
of all, shout out to you and your team.
Thanks, man.
Seeing you guys grow has been dope as well. Because from the first time I saw it, I was like,
It was a mess.
yeah. And the thing I shouted you out was Instagram or Twitter. It was Twitter.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I just discovered your podcast. And I think it was after what got me into it was your interview with Cece. Yeah. And was she your first guest?
Yes, she was.
She
I
was,
think,
ne?
yeah.
And before that, I'd watched a little bit of something else. I was like, okay, this looks dope. But the CC interview was one I first watched from start to finish.
Wow, nice.
You know, and I was like, that was a dope interview. It was dope conversation. There's dope when industry people come through and they start giving a little bit insight about who they are and where they started and where that happened. Those are always dope conversations. So keep doing that.
Thanks, man.
Shout out to you.
But don't
and
ask
the
bitches
people.
about their sex life. Ne?
But just ease up on the vaginas, you know? Asking women about what's happening with the vaginas and I think you just pump the brakes down a little bit. You gotta otherwise you got a winning formula out here, man.
Love you long time, man. All the best
Hey,
with the
man.
comedy stuff.
Thank you, man. We're gonna come back next year. You have 100,000 subscribers. Who knows what's gonna happen? Keep pushing, homie. Shout out.
Podcast and chill. Matt G, the Ghost Lady, and Len Moleko.